what's guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are painting the 2020 Corvette Stingray from Revell. This is their all new touring model kit, and right now we're gonna go ahead and get in primer. So in this case I am going to be using splash paint, but I do get some questions what kind of primer works with splash paints, and easy question to that is you can easily use any kind of Tamiya primer. I'm using the Tamiya Surfacer primer out of a spray can. You can of course use the one that's in a small bottle. You can thin it yourself and use the Airbrush, but I didn't feel like using the Airbrush for this one. I just went ahead and broke out the trusty old spray can. This is pretty much the only way you will be seeing me use a spray can on any kind of model kit is use primer. I don't really use any spray cans other than the primer on a model kit because my Airbrush is really awesome. I prefer that, but for a nice quick easy primer job I'll break out the spray can. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 coats, very light coats of primer on the body, and then we'll move on to the body color. Alright, so after the primer has dried for about an hour to 2 hours, then we're ready to move on to our color. First things first is to blow off any kind of dust that is landed onto the body. Sometimes dust can land onto the body after an hour or 2 hours, so make sure you use the airbrush or anything that you have that can blow off the body, and make sure you get anything particular off the body before you do your color codes. And now it's time to do our color coat. So again, we are using Rapid Blue from Splash Paints. This is one of the more main common colors for the any kind of, basically, well, the C8 Corvette in particular, but a lot of Corvettes are in this Rapid Blue. So before we do anything to the body, we're gonna go ahead and do hard to reach areas first, easy to forget spots, and this car has a lot of it. That is including the fenders, the exhaust ports, where the taillights are, and under where the license plate frame is. And it's also including the side vents where your air goes into the engine on the side of the car. You want to get in there. So again, this car has a lot of hard to reach areas and easy to get spots. Make sure you hit those first before you do on the entire body, because if you do the entire body right now, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna forget those, and those could be, you know, not in color. They could be still primer color. So I like to do those first, just get them out of the way, and that way we move on to the color and don't have to worry about them for this color coat. So a little pro tip here, just because if you are running out of paint, if you say you don't have much paint left over and you're kind of tight on paint, you don't have to worry about this engine bay area where I'm painting right now, because that is going to be flat black on the real car. So anything in the engine bay area, you don't have to paint. I just paint it just for the heck of it because I have plenty of paint. But say if you're really tight on paint, don't even worry about that, because that is flat black anyway. Alright, now it's time for our second coat. We're going to do the same thing what we did to our first coat. We're going to go ahead and do hard to reach areas first, easy to forget spots for the second coat. Third coat, we're not going to worry about that, but definitely for the second coat, you do want to get it covered as well. So make sure you do your hard to reach areas first, easy to forget spots, and then you go ahead and move onto your entire body. Again, this is plastic model. This is a plastic model kit, and I am using a lacquer paint. So make sure you keep your coats really light, because lacquer paint, it can eat into the body and eat into the plastic, and it can wrinkle. It can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So make sure you do keep your coats very light. Basically, keep this second coat as light as your first coat. And now it's time for your third and final coat. Particularly in most cases, 3 coats is more enough for any type of color, unless you are doing a candy color or any kind of light color that is. But for this color, again, 3rd coat is more enough. This is just to make sure everything is covered evenly and get it evenly covered. So again, keep this color very light as well. You don't have to go full on blast because the 2nd coat takes care of that. This is just an extra coat to make sure everything is completely covered. And again, make sure you do triple check your hard to reach areas first, because sometimes those could be a lighter color, so make sure you do hit those just in case. In this case, they were good. So again, like I said, this body has a lot of weird angles, and make sure you do hit those hard to reach areas first. Alright, so we're going to dry for about 1 hour to 2 hours. That way we can mask off the body and paint our flat black, or basically gloss black in this case, rear portion of the bumper and mirrors. So again, you do want your paint to dry for at least 1 hour. If you have time, do it overnight, but more 1.5 hours was more enough for the splash paints, because the splash paints dry pretty fast. And now we can put on our black, basically undercoat of the bumper. And now on this car, this is gloss black. You can do it in flat black if you want to, but in a lot of cases, this is a gloss black. So that's why we're painting this now before we do our 2K clear. And now it's time to unmask the body. Make sure you let it dry for about at least 20 minutes. That way the color is kind of touch dry. It's not fully dry, so you don't really want to handle it too much, the flat black that you just painted. But you can touch it that way, so you can touch it at least. But again, don't touch it hard because you will use your fingerprint in it. And we're gonna go ahead and peel off your masking tape. Make sure when you do peel off your masking tape, peel it off very slowly and peel with the body, not against it. That way it puts on less stress onto the body color. I did that full on tutorial video on how to do a two-tone paint job. You can check out that video. I'll leave it down below. And here is the finished product. As you can see, the color turned out fantastic. And next video, part 2 of this video, will be 2K clear. I'll be putting on the decals, the sharp decals, and then we'll be doing 2K clear to finish off this entire painting video body. So, alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and until my next video, we'll catch you next time.